Good morning from Santa Barbara Baker. I'm back here with my Poolish, my pre-ferment. It's looking really nice. It smells really good. I'm seeing bubbles. It looks a bit like wallpaper paste. That's a really good sign. We're on to our final mix this morning. What do we need? Most importantly, flour. What I have going on today is 350 grams of bread flour mixed with 250 grams of 00 normal. Along with that, I like to add in a little bit of extra flavor in the form of just small amounts of other flours. Today I have 10 grams of whole wheat flour along with 10 grams of rye. I'm just gonna mix that right in with the rest of the flours. Along with that, we got the water, 350 grams of room temperature water. To that, I'm gonna add just again another, there's not much yeast in this recipe, it just is another tiny little pinch there. I'm gonna get that all, just let it absorb just for a second here. What we're gonna do to get this started is take our Poolish. I'm just gonna scoop this out with my hand, making sure to get all of it out of there into the water. And you don't have to stress too hard about getting this fully incorporated, but you do wanna kind of mix it up into the water. You can just go in here with your hands, it's kind of fun. Getting it pretty mixed up. Maybe I can continue mixing that rye and the whole wheat at the same time, multitasking here, being efficient. All right, this is looking pretty good. Like I said, you don't gotta get super crazy here getting this all mixed up, but we try our best around the Santa Barbara Baker household. Always striving to make the best pizza. That's what we're after, and make sure it tastes good. That's why we go the lengths we do. This recipe, it takes a little longer. You gotta plan a day ahead of time, but I feel like the flavors are worth it. This is looking pretty good. I'm just gonna go dump this right in here into that flour mix, making sure I get all the little good parts in there. And at this point, you can start stirring with a spoon. That's a nice way to get it kind of started, incorporating all the dry flour into the wet. You could do this in a mixer too if you wanted, but I prefer doing it by hand. I don't know if it's just as you got the these hands vibe, or it's just I love getting my hands in the dough, and I feel at the end of the day, maybe it's a better product. I don't know. You're just making a few pizzas at home, so it's reasonable to go all hands, I feel. All right, I liked it. We're talking about it. Why are we using the spoon? Let's get my hands in there. You just want to go. We're not really folding and kneading at this point. I'm just kind of mixing, pinching through, getting the flour mixed in with the water in here, and I'm gonna get this, once I see it all mixed up, I'm not looking for it super smooth or anything at this point. I'm just gonna cover up this bowl, let it hang out in the donut for 25 minutes. I'll meet you back. We'll add the salt at that point. It's pizza time. It's dough edition. One love. We're back after 25 minutes after the first mix, letting the dough hang out in the donut. It's smelling really good. That 25 minutes too, if you don't nail that exactly, don't stress on it, not a big deal. Around 25 minutes is good. For our second mix, we're gonna start incorporating the salt. I have 20 grams of sea salt here. Along with that, optional here, is 1 gram of barley malt syrup. I think that adds a nice little note, maybe helps with the fermentation a little bit. I have that mixed in with 30 grams of water. I'm gonna add our sea salt directly into the water here. I like that, make it into a little slurry. All the salt probably won't dissolve, don't trip on it, but just get it kind of, mix up a little bit here. I'm gonna start working in this slurry into my dough. Working slowly, I feel when you're moving too fast, the dough starts to break apart maybe a little bit. Don't trip on it though. Just keep working the dough, kneading, folding it with your hands here, working in that salt, water, and barley malt mixture. Should take about 5 to 10 minutes depending on how fast you work. Just kind of adding this as I go, making sure all that salt gets worked in there. I'm just gonna keep kneading this. You wanna, like I said, about 5 minutes, everything should all be worked in there. That salt, you shouldn't feel any of that salt. The dough should start looking nice and smooth. I'll get it covered up, gonna set it back in the donut. We'll meet you back after 25 minutes. We'll do that final mix and on to pizza time. We're back after 25 minutes. This dough is smelling so good. We're on to the final mix where we're gonna add 10 grams of extra virgin olive oil. Gonna start working it in just like we did with the salt mixture, just adding a little bit at the time, folding it in here, kneading it into the dough, until it's nice and smooth. This should take about 5 minutes. I'm just gonna keep working the oil in. I'm finishing up incorporating my oil into the dough. It's looking really nice. Took about 5 minutes. See here, it's like looking nice and shiny and smooth. Looking good to me. At this point, I'm gonna bulk ferment. But what I like to do too is just one last time weigh my dough so I know when I'm gonna divide it up into later, get this all tared out and onto the scale. We're clocking in at 1,168 grams. I'm gonna get the dough all covered up back into the dough nook for its bulk fermentation. And for this dough, I like to shoot for about 1 to 2 hours. After that, we'll come back, check on the dough. It should be nice and lively. We'll get that divided up and on our way to pizza time.